Hey guys, yeah, it seems that award season is coming fast around here. Already we had the I think was it the American Music Awards, and next up we have the Grammys. And then to follow that, we have the Oscars. We already had the Golden Globes, but now we got the Oscars coming up, and quite honestly, I'll say this. People have been saying that the Oscars need to be diverse in some of the things they do. Well, I'll put it this way. Some of the nominations they made did not go over well, I should say, with a lot of critics, actors, fans, you name it. Because it seems to them that what the Academy is doing is trying to send a strong message about how they feel about diversity in some roles and stuff. Excuse me. But anyway, though, the Oscars is going to be happening on February 9th on ABC, literally a week after the Super Bowl, which is kind of ironic. I mean, well, it is ironic, but it's also something that we should be used to. It's like the three biggest weeks to come, as far as television is concerned, are the Grammys, the Super Bowl, and the Oscars. Yeah, those are the three biggest sports entertainment events that you can think of. Now, as far as the nominations go, let's just say that, again, people weren't too thrilled with the nominations, if you know what I mean. But anyway, here we are with the Oscars. This is the 2020 ballot. This is basically the ballot. And in case you guys want to know what the ballot is, it's basically where obviously you can see it right there. You can't really do anything, but this is the ballot to where you could check off, if you were part of the Academy, check off who you would want to win. So anyway, and again, you guys can see that yourself if you want to. So anyway, let's talk about some of the nominations here. Let's take a look at the Best Actor Award, which is dubbed Actor in a Leading Role. The nominees that they got for Best Actor are Antonio Banderas, Pain and Glory, which is a foreign language film. Leonardo DiCaprio, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Adam Driver, Marriage Story. Joaquin Phoenix, Joker. And Jonathan Pryce, The Two Popes. So those are the nominees in Best Actor. Now, Best Supporting Actor or Actor in a Supporting Role, those nominees are Tom Hanks, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Let's see. Al Pacino, The Irishman. Joe Pesci, The Irishman. Brad Pitt, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Then the actresses, Best Actress Award. The nominees are Actress in a Leading Role. The nominees are, let's see, Cynthia Erivo Harriet. Cynthia Erivo Harriet. Sorry about that. Cynthia Erivo Harriet. Scarlett Johansson, Marriage Story. Let's see. Saoirse Ronan, Little Women. Charlize Theron, Bombshell, and Renee Zellweger, Judy, which is based on Judy Garland. Then the Best Actresses in a Supporting Role, the Best Supporting Actresses, those nominees are Kathy Bates, Richard Jewell, Lauren Deer, Marriage Story, Scarlett Johansson, Jojo Rabbit, Florence Pugh, Little Women, Margaret Robbie, Bombshell. Now, Scarlett they actually made a little bit of a note on that, saying it's a rare occasion where the same actress, one actor or actress, gets nominated in two different categories. In this case, she's getting nominated for Best Actress in Marriage Story. Well, not Marriage Story, but in Jojo Rabbit. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, Marriage Story. She's getting nominated for her lead role in Marriage Story. And then she's getting nominated for a supporting role in Jojo Rabbit. So that's pretty cool. And just imagine, the way they structure it is they do supporting role and then lead role. Imagine Johansson wins for Jojo Rabbit in supporting, and then that's read off that she wins for Best Actress leading. She just has to stay on stage and say, okay, come on back out, here you go, here's another statue. So, that could happen, but yeah, she's got 2 nominations. Alright, so, here's what's interesting, and this is what really got people talking too. Nominees for Best Animated Feature. The nominees that they put are How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I Lost My Body, Claws, which was a Netflix film, Missing Link, which won the Golden Globe, and Toy Story 4. Now, traditionally, one of the things people point out is if something wins a Golden Globe, more than likely they'll win the Academy Award. That's going to break this year, I got a feeling. Now, what they put in easy for me to say. Now, what they put in for cinematography is nominees on that are The Irishman, Joker, The Lighthouse, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's cinematography nominees. Costume designs they have are The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Best Directing, the nominees are Irishman, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. I think that's an Amazon thing. Best Documentary Feature. Nominees are American Factory, The Cave, The Edge of Democracy, for Sama, and Honeyland. And then nominees on Best Documentary Short Subject is In the Absence, Learning to Skateboard in a War Zone if you're a girl, Life Overtakes Me, St. Louis Superman, and Walk, Run, Cha-Cha. Yeah, that's the other one. That's the last one. Walk, Run, Cha-Cha. When it comes to the nominees of Best Documentary Short Subject. Then film editing nominees they got were Ford versus Ferrari, Ford versus Ferrara, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite. That's for film editing. Nominees for Best International Feature Film are, let's see, Corpus Christi, Honeyland, Les Miserables, easy for me to say on that one, Pain and Glory, and Parasite. That's International Feature Film nominees. Then, nominees that they put for makeup and hairstyling, Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and 1917. Nominees for Best Original Score, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Then Best Original Song nominees are Best Original Song nominees are I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away, Toy Story 4, I'm Gonna Love Me Again, Rocket Man, I'm Standing With You, Breakthrough, Into the Unknown, Frozen 2, and Stand Up, Harriet. Those are actually pretty good, from what I understand. The last one we'll get into in a moment. Nominees for Best Production Design: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. Best Animated Short Film nominees are Daughter or Dacia, Hair Love, Kit Bull, Memorable, Sister. Those are the animated short film nominees. Live action short film are Brotherhood, Nefty Football Club. It looks like that. Yeah, that's what it is. Nefty Football Club. The Neighbor's Window, Sarah or Sarai, and A Sister. You have a live action and the animated. Both have sister in it. Bet they're connected. Next up, you have nominees for sound editing, which are Ford vs. Ferrara, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Sound mixing nominees are Ad Estrada, easy for me to say, Ford vs. Ferrara, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Visual effects nominees are Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Adapted screenplay nominees Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, The Two Popes. Original screenplay Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite. Now we get to the big one, Best Picture. Those nominees are Ford vs. Ferrara, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. Those are the nominees right there if you will. I'm trying to see if you can see it there. For Best Picture, those are the nominees. You might notice that one is really leading the pack, and that's Joker. And I said this in a podcast that I'm going to try to download and get up here eventually. But in the podcast, I basically said that the reason Joker got the nomination is the way it's filmed, is the way it's presented. You see, normally when you talk about a comic book movie, you talk about bright colors, flashy lights, outlandish gimmicks, stuff like that, right? Not in this case. In this case, the way Joker's presented, even though I haven't seen it yet, and I will eventually, is basically, it's like an independent film. It's like one of those films that you would go where it was shown at. You would go to a film festival and you would praise it because it's so good. Basically, the way it was done, it makes it feel like it was not even a DC. It basically, even though it's nominated for an adapted screenplay, it feels like it wasn't adapted from anything. It feels like it's an original idea, like it has no connection whatsoever to DC Comics or the Batman franchise in which it's connected with. It's like it has no connection whatsoever. And I think that's why people have praised it. The fact that it feels completely separate from the DC universe, from any DC Comics, period. And I think that's the advantage it has. And as I said in the podcast today, I believe that if Joker wins, if Joaquin Phoenix wins Best Actor, and Joker wins Best Picture, that's going to set a precedent, and that's going to set a tone, and it's going to send a message that, hey, you could do comic book movies, but maybe you don't have to do them to where they feel like a real-life comic book brought to life. You can make them feel more based in reality, and make them feel like, yeah, they're based on something, but it feels like when you go and watch it, you don't see that. So, anyway, though, those are the Oscar nominees altogether for this year's Oscars. If I was to pick, honestly, if I was to pick any kind of like winners here, Joaquin Phoenix no doubt is walking out with Best Actor. I would say Joker should get Best Picture, but I think knowing Hollywood, even though it's being praised as being like its own separate entity thing, I can see them going with something like The Irishman, just because that's how the Hollywood is. You know, they would want to go with something that they know is based, that is not based on a comic book, even though, like I said, Joker doesn't feel like it. So anyway, that's pretty much going to do it. I'm going to provide the link down below so you guys can check it out yourself. But who do you expect to win out of all these categories when the Oscars comes around? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. And I'm out.